Hi, James with the Hunt Blog here, getting ready to put out our 2019 deer hunting videos. It's currently March the 20th, 2020. Normally we'd be starting to get ready pretty heavily for turkey hunting season, but currently we're in the midst of the coronavirus, which I'm sure everyone's aware of. Anyway, we had some time on our hands to put out these videos, so hopefully you guys enjoy them. Alright, well, good afternoon. It is October I don't even know, but I'm going hunting. It's actually my very first time out deer hunting this year. We had a really awesome moose hunt first week of October. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. You'll probably see some footage of that go up on the page. Unfortunately, while I was up there, I cut my hand pretty bad, needed some stitches, so that's kind of kept me out of the field. I dislocated my shoulder playing hockey, so between those two things, I really haven't hunted at all. And I think it's the 26th or 27th or something of October. It's my first time going out, just the way schedule worked out. Anyway, I'm heading out to a brand new spot today. We do not have the greatest conditions. It was freezing cold yesterday morning, -2. Then we had a front move in. We had pouring rain overnight, probably got a good 3 inches of rain. And it warmed up to about 11 degrees, and it's held there pretty much since last night. And the temps are supposed to start to drop here coming up around 4 or 5 o'clock. It's supposed to start to plummet and drop down to about 3 overnight again, which is pretty seasonal for this time of year. What my hope is that this rain has really kind of washed out some of these scrapes, and that these deer are going to be up and moving and trying to hit these scrapes. So that's the game plan anyway. I'm going to try to go into this new spot I have called the Hills. I'm going in towards a bedding area, going to try to find the freshest scrape I can and set up over it. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully there's some pretty heavy wind tonight, but I'm hoping that wind and these wet conditions will help cover some of my sound going in. And at least with this heavy wind, it'll be pretty predictable which way my scent's going to be blowing. So that's the game plan, and we'll see how it works out. Okay, we'll catch you out there.
Well, it's October actually I still don't have any idea what the date is, but it's around 4 o'clock, it's after Sunday afternoon hunt. I'm finally set up. It took me a really long time to decide, I don't know. Probably took way too long, made too much noise setting up on this hanging hunt, but I'm just learning, trying to figure it out. I actually climbed just the branches on a tree about 60 yards that way for the longest time. It just didn't quite feel right, so I came down, I pushed a little bit further. I found a spot with a good scrape, a couple of big rubs, and it's right near a spot where I know from last winter scouting that there's a couple of real good signpost rubs. They're about 80 yards that way. So I've got a pretty good spot where I'm dropping a lot of milkweed, and I think I'm cutting the wind okay. Where I'm hoping these bucks are going to come through and maybe check out these scrapes. Maybe freshen up a couple of rubs through here, so we'll see. I've got another ridge top behind me where I could probably shoot across to, depending on how high up the ridge. If they work the upper third, I'd have about a 35-yard shot. The shots in front of me here are going to be about 20 yards. They're going to be little chip shots, so fingers crossed we'll get her done today. morning's hunt. Didn't see anything. Found some good sign. Looked like a great spot, so I don't know if I jumped them from where they were bedded when I came in or what, but you live and you learn. It was a beautiful night. Great to get out. Better luck next time.
Well, good morning. It is October 30th. It is around 5:20 in the morning. We're just heading out for our morning hunt. I'm actually going to the very same spot I was last time, well, with a minor adjustment. I was, to be perfectly honest, a little bit disappointed that I didn't see anything. That was a spot that I had picked out from a while that I thought would be pretty promising, and the sign looked pretty good, so I don't know if I actually bumped something heading in, or if what exactly happened. If the wind wasn't perfect, it seemed pretty good, but I'm going to go back to the same spot there this morning, and what I'm going to be doing is heading about maybe another 100 yards down that little ravine, up a little bit higher, and I'm going to be trying to go in there with a north wind so that I'm directing my wind actually back just off the bedding area and trying to get them before they get back into bed. If they're already in the bedding area, I'm kind of out to lunch. I'm not going to have any luck, but I'm hoping that it's been cold overnight, dropped down to 7 degrees, that these deer are going to be up on their feet and moving around. There's a big cornfield off to my north, so hopefully they're still in that corn and they're taking their time getting back to the bed, maybe check a few scrapes and rubs on the way back to bed. So that's the game plan. We'll see if it works. I might try a little calling, I might not. We'll see how quiet it is once I get up there, and we'll go from there. Alright, we'll see when we get out there.
Sunday night, but I pushed up a little further in this draw. I actually got a little farther than I wanted to in the dark. I was a little disoriented, but there's a nice scrape in front of me and a good rub line. Kind of where two ridges meet, and there's two sets of thick pines on either side, so might be a good spot for a buck to be cruising through this morning, so we'll see what happens. I just heard a buck grunt over there twice. I'm gonna grunt back at him. Just had a guy walk through here. Looks like he was maybe turkey hunting, although I'm not sure that turkey season's on even right now, but maybe it is, I don't know. Anyway, walk through with a shotgun. Maybe he's squirrel hunting or bird hunting, I don't really know, but anyway, just basically walked through where I expect the deer to come from, so I don't know, do I pull out and just redo everything and move elsewhere, or do I sit this out? I don't know. God, that's frustrating. Public land hunting. Well, it's about 9 o'clock. I don't really know what to think about the rest of the hunt. As you saw there, that guy came walking through. He looked like he accessed this piece from private, but I don't know, it's obviously making an assumption. It's still pretty frustrating, but that's hunting public land. You take a day off work, drive 45 minutes to get here, spend an hour and a half hiking in to get set up, and then have a guy walk through at 10 after 8. I have no idea what he's hunting for. Turkey season's been closed for gun for a while. He's carrying a shotgun in full camo and full face mask. Just a little odd. I don't see too many grouse hunters or squirrel hunters in the rain at first light, full camo and face mask, so I don't know. Anyway, I was going to show you a little bit about how I'm set up here, or at least what my thinking was. So behind me, I've actually got this ditch. It's like a secondary draw that runs down into the main ravine. Then this ridge up top here with these thick cedars on it has some really good rubs. I don't know if we can see that one that's in there. You can just sort of see it in the background there. And I know from the past this is a rub line that the deer make use of, so I know there's some rubs down there. There's a good scrape right here, and this is kind of where this ravine, or this draw, kind of comes to the top and where they cross. There's more thick pines back this way, and then this is kind of a big flat out here. There's some good bedding over there, ag field that way, and up in between these two thick cuts of pines, there's some planted corn up there, which my theory was they'd be coming from the ag and working their way back this way and maybe hit this scrape, maybe hit these rubs coming back through. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock. I have no idea how much that guy traipsed around. I'm pot committed now. I'm going to sit till about 10 before I got to pack up and get out of here.
Well, that's all she wrote for this morning's hunt. It was a bit of a bust. That's kind of disappointing, but it's all about hunting on public land. Those things happen. I took a little tour on the way out, found a couple of nice areas with some scrapes, and pulled a couple of cards from some cameras. I didn't actually have the keys, so I couldn't take the cameras off the tree, so I just pulled the cards just because I'd like to have the intel. One, to see what kind of hunting pressure is in here after seeing that guy this morning, and also to see when those deer were leaving those scrapes. There should be some pictures on them. Then I found another little bedding area up on top of a knoll. It's definitely a point of interest I'm going to keep in mind. Anyway, I'm getting absolutely soaked right now, so time to head home, get cleaned up, and head to work. Alright, good afternoon. It is November the 2nd. It is a beautiful day to be deer hunting. It's cold, it's about 4 degrees. Have a light drizzle. It's supposed to drizzle on and off all afternoon, so it's overcast. The deer, I think, are really starting to move. Buddy Ryan was out yesterday, had a buck chasing a doe. On my drive home from work yesterday, I had a buck that was dogging a couple of does out in the field. So I think the deer are really starting to move. It really rained hard the last couple of days, so that may throw off some of the movement. I expect all the drainage ditches and the rivers to be pretty well swollen. A lot of them are breaching their banks as I drive around here. So I'm going out. I actually don't know where I'm going yet. I brought some milkweed. I'm going to drop some milkweed at the side of the road. I'm going to glass a couple of things. It's pretty early still. It's around 1:45. So I'm going to go out and drive around. I have about 3 or 4 pieces of public property that are all within 10-minute drive of each other. So I'm going to kind of get an idea of what the wind's doing. My Weather Network wind says it's going one way, and my Scout Look weather says it's going the other way. And so, what I've learned in my first 2 hunts of the season, especially the one spot that I hunt that has a lot of hills, is that you can't really trust what the Weather Network's saying, because what the wind is actually doing out there is a little bit different, which is probably something a lot of people already know. But just because it says a west wind doesn't mean it's not, gusting to the north, which is a big factor when you're chasing these bucks. You got to make sure that you're in a spot where that wind's going to be okay, even if you're getting those odd gusts to the north, because they will pick you off. So anyway, I'm going to drive out to the couple of spots. I'm going to do kind of a little lap, see what's going on with the corn, although with all this rain, I don't think anything's come off yet. Get an idea of what the properties are looking like right now, and then I'm going to dive in. I might try a couple of setups as I'm walking to my penultimate spot just to rattle a little bit. I brought the antlers with me. I'm going to call, see if there's anything up cruising, but that's the game plan, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see you out there. I'm just turning into the first spot here I wanted to check out. Good news, the corn is all still on, so that instantly makes this spot a little bit more appealing. As you can see out here, it's a big swath of corn. There's some winter wheat over here. The reason I'm liking this right now, I actually don't have a lot of intel. I had a trail camera up in here that I pulled out in early September just to get an idea of what kind of bucks are using it this summer. I really didn't get a whole lot of intel from that camera. There's a few bucks in here, nothing that are giants. There's one mature 8-point that I would definitely shoot. Well, my kid, I'm going to shoot anything that walks by. But there's one mature 8-point that would be really nice to shoot. But I don't have a lot of up-to-date intel as to what's going on. But I know this spot holds does, and I know with this corn on, it's especially going to hold some does. So that's got me pretty tempted. On the other side of this little field up here is a cut bean field, and so what I'm thinking about doing is parking at the north end and walking down this cut bean field, because we're going to have a southwest wind, and then I'll dive into the spot. I don't know what kind of pressure we're going to get up here. It is a Thursday or a Friday, Saturday afternoon, so, and there's already a truck pulled up here stopping, so we'll see what's going on. So you can see this drainage behind me that runs all the way down here. It's about 1 kilometer down, 1,000 yards. It's not as high as I was expecting. I was actually expecting it to be worse. So it's probably draining off, so I think I could probably get across it where I need to get across. Just trying to get an idea of what the wind's doing here. You can see the wind kind of comes down this drainage, so it actually does something different here than it does elsewhere. I'll show you again here. It's a west wind, but because of this drainage, if you watch, it's going to suck and pull everything kind of that way. So that might be good. I'm going to take a little spin around, just kind of get an idea of what's going on at this spot.
Well, good afternoon. It's afternoon, November the 2nd. It took me a lot longer than I thought to get set up. This place was actually a lot more flooded than it looked like from the road, so it took me a while to get back to where there's some more dry ground. This is a spot we hunted last year and didn't have a lot of success, but I know that there's bedding nearby, and there's a couple of good trails, so I think the rut's starting to kick off, so I am going to do a little bit of calling. It's pretty calm. I did make some noise setting up, so I don't know. It was a little more of a cluster than I thought it was going to be, as long and the short of it, but we're here now. It's around 4 o'clock, so fingers crossed we get some deer movement. It's my third time hunting. Haven't seen anything yet. I probably won't get out again for a couple weeks, so if it's got 4 legs, brown hair, and looks like a whitetail, it's going to be down tonight. Really got itching for some backstrap, so fingers crossed. There's a pretty good trail coming right through here. I know the back over there is some bedding. This stuff in off to my north here is really, really thick. There's a couple of holes I can shoot through, and you can see where some deer have been mulling around. Out over there is a winter wheat field. And back this way is a cornfield. That's where I came in. The wind's kind of blowing back over that way. Back behind me here is a big ditch. So it's possible they could be bedded over there, or they could be bedded through here and come this way. So we'll see what happens. Stealing the kids' Halloween candy.
Merp.
Shaking. Think I just got me one. The shot felt good. He was quartering to pretty hard, but I think with that fixed blade broadhead, I think it zipped right through him. I thought he was going to go down right over here. I can't believe he didn't. I don't really want to give him too long, so I'm going to go down and check the arrow. And then we'll go from there. Well, I found the buck, but we've got a pretty solid thunderstorm moving in fast. So, I didn't really have time to mess around too much with it. I've got a couple of buddies who are on their way to help me out. So for right now, I'm just trying to get out of the bush before this thunderstorm hits. And then we're gonna come back in here and get him out. But that's pretty awesome, friends, to come and help you drag a deer out of the bush in the pouring rain, in 4 degrees temperatures, in Saturday night in November. So some good buddies. Well, cheers to them, that's for sure. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that hunt. I'm sorry I didn't get more footage with the deer after the shot, but as I said in the video, that storm was coming in fast, and it's really not the safest place to be in those forests with those high winds. There were trees falling and everything. I was quite fortunate to have a couple of buddies come out to help me get that deer out of the forest and home so we could start the processing. It was some great meat in the freezer and a really good way to kick off the deer season. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of our videos this year.